We are back at the BSM Summit in the Core Image Studio Green Room. Kevin Clark, Omaha Productions. Great session. What was the biggest takeaway from you from what was said?
Well, we had maybe the hardest session of the week, which was how to get revenue from the written word. I've been a writer for over a decade now, and I think that's the holy grail, is how do you do it? What we came away with were three really innovative leaders of their company. One from the fantasy background, one from Outkick, who culture and sports, one from front office sports, which is the business of sports. And I found that there's no one way to do it, because advertisers will connect with a bunch of different things. I think a lot about how Fantasy Life, which is Matthew Berry's company, uses fantasy football to kind of create a relationship with advertisers. The example Elliot gave was a punishment index with Buffalo Wild Wings, where they're all filming videos of whoever finished last in their fantasy football league having to take the SAT or sitting in Santa's lap as an adult and all of that stuff. There are so many creative ways to get revenue out of the written word, and I think that is what I took from it. That if you're going to say, okay, we're going to pretend it's 1997 and we're going to write and we're going to try to sell ads off of it, that's not going to work. It's a new era, and there's so many different ways to get there, but it's still a possibility.
BSM Summit 2026, 2 years from now, what do you think we're talking about?
Well, maybe all the moderators will be AI. That could be number one. That could be a problem for me. That's a great question. I think we'll still be trying to figure out the written word and how to monetize it, because not everybody can do it. Because we still have, I think part of it with the written word for me, just knowing the landscape, so many of these websites pop up and they just don't have a business plan, or they don't have a niche that makes them different. And so we're always going to be talking about this in the same way that there are podcasting companies that fail, there are video companies that fail, there are radio stations that are up and running for 6 months and then they close down. And so there's always going to be challenges in the industry. I think there'll be a little more stabilization as far as what the audience wants. I think the big thing we're going to be talking about, Stephen A. Smith was here yesterday. It's one of the best sports business talks I've ever heard in my life. And he basically said, the new model is the Bill Simmons model, one of my favorite people in the industry, somebody I used to work for. Go out on your own, start this company, have massive success, and do your own thing. Pat McAfee. It sounds like Stephen A. is launching that with his YouTube thing, and he'll have a little bit more. I think individual brands are the future more than just saying, hey, I'm going to go work for Turner and have a 40-year career there. That's not really how this works anymore. Now, there are tons of 40-year careers that can happen at one place or two places, and that's admirable. But I also think that if you want to explode, if you want to be everywhere, you have to be on every single platform, and that comes with an individual branding, a company with your name on it, or that you're at the top at. And I think anyone who reaches a threshold of success will have that. So I think in 2026, there's going to be, I don't even know where it goes. I think that you'll have companies run by some of these sports media people broadcasting games, getting rights. That's the next step, is because it's all podcasting companies, it's all YouTube right now. But what happens when one of those companies says, hey, we're going to take a lower level league and start broadcasting games, or hey, we're going to be in a booth, we're going to do more alternate feeds, experimenting with that. Individual companies, not vanity companies, real business companies are the future, and that's what we'll be talking about in 3 years.